Okay, so today we are talking about the illumination models. So this chapter deals with the concept of light and its effect on the objects. So basically, here we'll be learning about the properties of light and we'll study about color models. The color models that are used in this computer graphics application. We have two color models. One is called as the RGB and the other one we will call it as CMY. So we are going to talk about the two color models. So before talking about the color models, we are studying about the light, the properties of light, how like what is the effect of that light on the objects. So um, basically like there is a scene. For example, there is some images, there is some pictures in a frame. So for that image, you'll get a realistic view. You'll get a realistic view when when you are applying some light effects. So there is some object, there is some object. So if you want to get the realistic display of that object means the first thing is you should apply light to that. So when the light falls on that object, then only that object will be visible, or you can check its realistic view. So here this chapter talks about applying the light effects to the visible surfaces. So there is a cube, there is a cube. For example, there is a cube or there is a pyramid. So in that one side, the face which is visible to, or which is exposed to the light will be visible. So here we are talking about the application of natural light to the visible surfaces. So this illumination model, it is also known as the lighting model. It is also known as the lighting model, and some will call it as the shading model. So this illumination model is also known as the lighting model or shading model. So why we use this illumination model means to calculate the color of a illuminated position on the surface of the object. So on the surface of the object, you want to calculate the color of the illumination position. So for that, we will be using this illumination model. So here, um, where this illumination model will be used means the surface rendering method. In surface rendering method, uses the color calculation. The surface rendering method uses the color calculation from illumination model to determine the pixel color. To determine the pixel color for all the positions in a scene. So this illumination model can be applied to every position, or the surface rendering can be accomplished uh, by interpolating the colors on the surfaces using this illumination model calculations. So what kind of algorithms will use this kind of technique means the scanline algorithm. The general scanline algorithm uses this methodology. It uses the illumination model calculation for getting the colors on all the surfaces. Um, and also this illumination model is known as uh, the shading model. Why? Uh, because sometimes it will calculate the surface color. It will calculate the surface color using a shading model. Using a shading model, it will calculate the surface color. So that's why it is this illumination model is also known as the shading model. So here, what we are going to study means here. Here in this chapter, we will calculate the intensity of the light. The one thing is will try to calculate the intensity of the light at any point on the surface, on the at any point on the surface of the object. And so this is so when we are calculating an intensity of light at any single point on the surface, we will refer that model as lightning model. And if we are if you're using a pro if you're writing a function for applying that lighting model to a pixel color for all the surfaces, means we will use a term as surface rendering. So surface rendering, illumination model, so these two terms we should keep in mind. So what is illumination model means? It's a model for calculating the intensity of a light at a point, at any point on the surface of the object. So surface rendering means it's a function for applying the lighting model to obtain the pixel color for all the surface position. So these two things um, we should keep in mind. We should keep it in mind, and also we'll study about the properties of light. Also, like what is the light? What is the we know we have light is a form of electromagnetic wave. So we have so many range of EM waves, electromagnetic waves like X-ray, gamma ray. Only the visible area or the visible region or the visible light is what the human can see. So we have radio waves also. So all these things are not visible. So even we'll talk about the light as a electromagnetic wave. So we'll talk about that point also. So for before talking about that thing, so first is the light sources. So how it is classified, or um, what are the light sources we have. So what is a light source? So what is a light means, you know that um, an object which is emitting the radiant energy. So an object that is emitting an energy, we will call it as a light source. So a natural example, or a natural example for light is sunlight. So sunlight, it emits energy. It emits energy. And the artificial examples, artificial light sources can be candle, it can be laser, it can be the incandescent lamps or incandescent bulbs. So these are the examples of light sources. So any light that is emitting the radiant energy, we will call it as light source. So what this light source will contribute? So this light source will contribute to the lighting effects for objects in the scene. For example, there is a hall, there is an hall, and we have placed some books on. We have books, we have a laptop, we have some table, chairs, everything. So all these things will not be visible. So if the hall is dark, means all these things will not be visible when you switch on the light. When you switch on the light, through the application of light itself, from the light itself, all these objects will be visible. So uh, so first thing is an object that is emitting the radiant energy, will call it as a light source. So what this will do is it will contribute to the lighting effects for other objects in the scene. So now this light sources can be of variety of shape and characteristics, but for our applications, uh, but for in computer graphics, even though light sources have variety of shapes and characteristics, our main intention is this light source will be used as a source of illumination for a scene. So for a scene, what will be the effect of the light on that object? So that is our main concern. So that is what uh, we will be using. So for computer graphics, light source will serve only as a source of illumination for the scene. So in some applications, even you can create light sources which will what it will do means it will act as a source, and also it will act as a reflector also. So that thing is also there. But our main concern is it is a source for illumination in a scene. So this light source can be defined with so many properties, where is the position of that light, what is the color of that light, and in which direction it is emitting the light, and what is its shape. And if it is also reflecting, if it is having a reflective surface, means what is its reflexivity. So these are the things we can characterize. So a light source can be defined with respect to the properties like the position of the light source, the color of the emitted light, emitted direction, shape of the light source, and also if it is having reflective surface means what is its reflectivity. So these are the things. Um, so these are the properties. So if they ask what are the properties of the light source, so properties like position, color of the emitted light, direction, shape, and if it is having reflection surface means reflexivity. So in this computer graphics, you can create a light source which will emit lights of different colors in different direction. So you can that light source can emit different colors in different directions. So that is also possible. So that is also possible. So that also you can create. So you can create that kind of properties like so one object is there. So that object can be emitting different lights in different directions. So these are the general properties which you should keep in mind, So these are the general properties of the light sources. Uh, an example can be like light emitting a single point of light source which is emitting right light in one direction, blue light in another direction, and green light in the other direction, like this. So this is also an example. um, mm, so mm, so what is this point light then? So point light. So under light sources, we know what is light sources. Now we are going to talk about point light. So this is an example. This is an example of point light. See, this is there is one small dot. From that, the light is coming in all directions. So this is an example of um, light source where the rays are coming from that point in all directions. So this light source as this light source are categorized into two parts. One is the point light, and the second one is infinite distance light sources. So first thing is we will be talking about the point light. So the example of the point light, the image corresponding to the point light is shown on the right hand side. So um, so this is the simplest. This is the simplest source of energy. So the point light. So what it is doing means uh, um, it will emit rays with a single color. With a single color, that color is given by RGB component. So see this point light is the simplest model for an object that is emitting the radiant energy with a single color. That color is specified with the RGB component. So, how do we define a point source for a scene? See, we define a point source for a scene by giving the position of that point and by giving its position and the type of color it is emitting and the color that is emitting. So, see here, this point source model, it is like an, see this light source model is an approximation for sources whose dimensions are small when compared to the size of the object in the scene. So even you can also simulate larger sources as point emitters if they are not too close to the scene. And also what we will do means we'll use the position of a point source light in the illumination model to determine which objects in the scene are illuminated from that source, and also to calculate the light direction to the selected object surface position. So these are the points related to the point sources. So this is the simplest model for an object which is emitting the radiant energy with a single color. That color is specified by RGB component. So how do you define this point source? Means by giving its position and the color of the emitted light. So this model, it's a reasonable approximation for sources where the dimensions are small compared to the size of the objects in the scene. And also, you can simulate larger sources as point sources if they are not too close to the scene. And also, this model can be used to determine which objects in the scene are illuminated from the source, and also to calculate the direction of the light to the selected object surface position. So this is regarding the point light. So the next one is infinite distance light source. So infinite distance light source. So you can take sun as an example. It is at a farther distance from the earth, and then even then it is illuminating the earth. So what is this infinite distance light sources? So it's a large light source. So infinite distance light source means it's a large light source which is very very far away from the scene. So it is so far that you can consider it as a point emitter. So you see the sun is very far from the earth, so you can consider it as a point source of light. So what is this infinite distance light source? Means a very large light source which is very far away from the scene, so which can be considered as a point emitter. So here one thing is you should consider the directional effect. You should consider the directional effect of this illumination. So that is the one thing. And also in see what this will do means this light source will illuminate the scene from only one direction. So it will illuminate the light source from only one direction. So here you can check. So this spot is being it is being illuminated, and the other parts are not, and the other parts are not illuminated. The other faces are not exposed, so that you can think that. So in contrast to the light source in the middle of the scene, so where it will illuminate all the objects in a scene, here these kind of illuminations will illuminate the scene from only one direction. So it will illuminate the scene from only one of the direction. So mm so one thing what you can assume is that the light from at any point of the light from these sources can be constant. So that assumption you can make. So the light path from the distance position for this scene can be constant. So you can see mm, it is illuminating only this face of the pyramid, the one which have colored that. So um, here you can simulate this light source by giving a color value and a fixed direction for the lights coming from that sources. And also uh, if you want to calculate if you want to perform the illumination calculation means you need the light source color and emission direction and the vector for emission direction. So these two are needed for calculating the illumination color. These two are needed for calculating the illumination color in infinite distance light sources. So um, so these are the points regarding to infinite distance light sources. So now here we are going to calculate the radial intensity attenuation. So what is this attenuation means? It's like uh, the loss of strength or weakening or the weakness, you can call it, or you can think like that. See, for example, so if you're standing in front of an object, if you're standing in front of an object that is emitting light energy or that is emitting heat energy. So if you are very close to the that object means you will feel like the temperature, like you will feel very hot. But if you are standing very far away from that object means the effect will be little less. For example, if you're standing in front of the stove means, so you can feel like if you're standing very close to that stove means, you can feel that the area near to you will be very very hot when you come when compared with if you're standing some few feet away from the stove means, uh, it will not be that much hot. So like that, so attenuation. So first thing is, what is this attenuation? So attenuation means it's, you can call it as a weakness. Attenuation means it's a weakness or reduction of the force. The general definition is reduction of the force or the loss of strength, the loss of strength, to be precise. So now what is this radial intensity attenuation? So um, we in this previous session we talked about, in the previous topic we talked about the light is coming, the light is coming from a distance position, and it is traveling in certain direction, it is traveling in certain direction. So now now, so as the radiant energy from the light source is traveling through the space, so the amplitude at any distance d from amplitude at any distance, so the amplitude at any distance d, amplitude at any distance d from the source is weakened by a factor of 1 by d1 square. So if I take this as the attenuation, so as the light energy, as the energy from the light source travel through the space, its amplitude at any point from a distance d from the source is attenuated. It is attenuated by a factor d 1 by di square, means see d attenuated means what? Loss of strength or reduction in the force. So that is what I told the example. See, uh, this you can call it as, so this you can call it as, this you can call it as some this you can, I'll just draw the, I'll just draw this. So this you can 1 second, this, okay, this you assume it as a bulb, this you assume it as a bulb. So if someone is standing, you assume it as a light source, so this you assume it as a light source. If someone is standing here, if someone is standing here means, so the intensity of the light will be very high when compared to this position. So the distance is, as he moves farther away from this light emitting object, light emitting object, the intensity of the light will be less. The same thing, the same concept is being implemented here. So as as the 1 second, I'll just add someone. So that is what. So what is this radial intensity attenuation means? As the radiant energy from the light source travels outwards through the space, so the its amplitude at any distance from the source of the light will be reduced by the factor 1 by di square. It will be reduced by the factor 1 by di square, meaning that if you're closer to the light, you will receive higher intensity of the light compared to the, compared to when you are standing farther away from the light. So therefore, so if you want to produce a very good lighting effects means, you should also take this intensity into consideration. Like like because see, otherwise what will happen means, all the surfaces will be illuminated with the same intensity from the light source, and you will get an undesirable display effects. So so that is what you should keep in mind. So when you're calculating this illumination calculation, you should also consider this attenuation factor into account. So this factor 1 by d square is there, no. So what it will do means, it will try to produce, so this factor 1 by d square, what it will do means, it will try to produce it will try to produce too much of intensity variations, too much of intensity variations for objects that are closer to the light sources. If the object is very closer to the light source, it will produce too much of intensity variations. And when the distance is very large, when the object is very far away from the light source, the intensity will be n- like the variation will be negligible. So so this is how this 1 by d square behaves, because why? Because the actual light sources are not like it's not a point, and illuminating a scene with point emitters is only an approximation. So since it is an approximation, so these kind of features will get when it is very close means what will happen means it will produce too much of intensity variations, and very little variation when the object is very far away. So in order to get a very realistic value, in order to get a very realistic value using the point sources, so we can use this function. So we can use this function f radiation, that is f radial attenuation. This is the distance. This is a distance which is given by 1 by a naught plus a1 d1 plus a1 d1 square, or you can take it as l dl. Dl you can take it as distance. So this factor can be, this formula can be used to get um, the light intensity for having a more realistic display using the sources, using the point sources. So here this a naught, a1, a2, here a naught, a1, a2 can be adjusted to get the optimal value of this attenuation. You can use this to get the optimal attenuation effects. So like we can assign a naught with a very large value when dl is very small. So when dl is very small, you can assign a naught with a very large value, so that you can prevent this from becoming very large. So when when dl is small, when dl is small, so 1 by something will be like 1 by the small value means this will increase. So since it is inversely proportional, so when dl is very small, you can increase a naught, so that this value will be under control, so you are preventing that f radial attenuation from becoming very large. So these options are available in graphical package. Like we have different values for this attenuation coefficients, like a naught, a1, a2, which will be assigned to each light point sources in the scene. So and also you cannot apply, so you see you cannot apply this attenuation intensity calculation with one to a point sources at infinite distance, because the distance of the light sources indeterminate. So all the points in the scene are nearly equal distance from a far away light sources. So in order to do these changes, you can refine this formula as this. So if the source is at infinity, the f radial intensity will be 1.0. If the source is at local, so this will be the formula for attenuation. This will be my formula for attenuation, the radial attenuation. So this is how um, this radial intensity attenuation will be seen. So here we are based on the distance, you are considering the attenuation factor also. So next is any doubts here? Any doubts with respect to radial intensity attenuation? So till now, what we have studied illumination model. In light source, we have two kinds. One is the point light, and the other one is light from the distant sources, and radial intensity attenuation. So this is radial intensity attenuation. So any doubts here? Any doubts? So like this. Any doubts? So next thing is now there we were not considering this factor of direction. So here the angle, the theta was not there. So now we are talking Now we will talk with respect to the directional, like what is a formula which we will get when the direction is considered. Um, See, the local light source like point source can be modified to produce the directional light source, or spotlight also. See, if the object is outside the directional limit of the light source, we will exclude that object from the illumination from that source. So one way to set up this directional light source is to assign a vector. So you can assign a vector to set a directional light source and an angular limit which is given by theta angular limit. So this is a vector and this is an angular limit theta, um, measured in the direction of vector in addition to the position and color. So what it will do means, when you're doing this means, it will define a conical region of space. You can see it is defining a region in the form of cone, with light vector along the axis of the cone. So this is the image. So whatever description I told now, this is the description of that image. So a local light can be modified. A local light can be modified to produce a directional light sources or a spotlight. So if the object is outside the directional limits, if the object is outside the directional limit of the light source, then that object will not be used in calculation, because since it is not in that direction, that object will not be visible. So, you don't include that object for calculation from this source. So how to set up this directional light source means, so assign a vector v and an angular value or angular limit called theta, which is measured from the vector direction. And also when you are considering this theta and the vector v, so what it will define means, it will define a conical region of space with respect to which where v is in the direction along the axis of the cone. So um, so what you can do means, you can so for this model for this thing, uh, you can model uh, the different direction vectors. So for this kind of lights, you can model multiple multiple direction vectors and different colors for each direction. So when we are talking about this when we are talking about this what we can do means, we can for this kind of light sources, we can model these kind of light sources by using multiple directions of vector and different colors for each of the directions. So by using these two factors, we can model these kind of light sources. So if we take if we take V light as a source of, if we take V light uh, as a unit vector in the light source direction, if we take V light as a unit vector in the light source direction, and V object as the unit vector in the direction of light, to the object position. So that is like from the light direction to the object position. Then the product of V light into V object will be the angle, this angle cos so see here you can check. So V light unit vector, V light in the light vector direction, and V object. So this is the object. So V object is a unit vector in the direction from the light position, from the light position to the object position. So here alpha is the distance, alpha is the angular distance of the object from the light direction vector. So from the light direction vector, see the difference from the light direction. So this is the angular difference between the light direction vector and the object. So if this so this is alpha. We know that alpha is the distance between the object and the light source. So if you're restricting this value of theta, if you're restricting this value of theta as greater than 0 degree and less than or equal to 90 degree. So greater than 0 degree and less than, so that is the range of this theta is between 0 to 90 degree, means then this object will be visible. Then this object will be visible if this cos alpha is greater than or equal to cos theta. So the object will be visible only when the value of alpha is greater than theta, or when the value of cos alpha is greater than or equal to theta. So you can see here if this from this image itself you can make out. So if the value of alpha is greater than or equal to theta, then only this object will be visible. So um, if 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 the product of v object into v light is less than, if it is less than if it is less than theta, means if it is less than theta means, see what is this means, the simplification of the same thing. We know that we know that cos alpha is given by v object into v light. We also studied that the theta is between 0 to 90 degree, and this object will be visible if cos alpha is greater than or equal to cos theta. So what happens if you replace this cos alpha with theta? Cos alpha with theta. So this cos, when you're replacing this cos alpha with theta, so this, if this theta is greater than v object into v light, it implies that this object is outside the visibility or outside the light cone. So that thing um, you should keep in mind. So the same thing. So you know that this is the prime condition. This is a condition. If the cos alpha is greater than or equal to cos theta, then only this will be visible. So this product of v object into v light, if it is less than cos theta means, if it is less than cos theta means, this object will not be visible, because we know that the cos alpha, because this is nothing but v object into v theta is nothing but cos alpha. See, I'll just simplify. V object into v light is cos alpha. We know that cos alpha should be greater than or equal to cos theta for visibility. So I'll rearrange this like this. I will write cos alpha. So cos alpha should be greater. So instead of cos alpha, I'll replace this with v object. And so if here, instead of cos alpha, if I replace this with v object into v object into v light should be greater than or equal to cos theta for visibility. The other way around, v object into v light, if it is less than theta means, this object will not be visible. The same equation, interpreting in terms of theta, that's all. So so if if it is less than cos theta means that the object will be outside the cone area. So this is regarding the directional light sources. So here we'll be talking about the angular intensity attenuation. So here we are talking about the angular intensity attenuation, which which I will explain it in the next class. In the fourth hour, I will explain about this angular intensity attenuation. So after that, we'll talk about the extended light source model and the Vaughan model, and after that, we'll study about the color models, then the properties of the light, and also I'll just stop the class now. The remaining we can continue it in the next classes. So in this class, we have studied four things: illumination model, light sources, point light, light from the different sources, radial intensity attenuation, directional light sources, and spotlight. Any doubts here? Any doubts? Any doubts? So here this condition should be known, where the value of cos alpha should be greater than theta for the object to be visible.